Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is how I feel each time I sit down at my sewing machine. To be creative is to let little pieces of my heart go and place them into each garment that I make. So that's me. Next slide, please. Who is Sharon? Well, I'm a wife of 37 years. I'm a mother of 2 children. My son Matthew, he's 36 this year, and our daughter Rebecca, she's 34 this year. And I'm a grandmother of 3 children. Lachlan, he's actually coming down next week for the school holidays. He's 10 now. And we have Delinda, she's 8, and our little Tara, Lincoln, who's 3. That's me and my family. So, and what am I? What am I about? I am a fundraiser. I am very passionate about raising money for cancer research and leukemia research. And this is a photo of me the 4th time I shaved my head for fundraising. Over the 4 times I've shaved my head, I've raised over $15,000. The first time was I raised actually $10,000 on my own just by shaving my head. People just gave me money. Yeah. Then I'm also a damn good sport. If you want to know about these 2 photos, have a one-to-one with me. They're an interesting story, both of them. And I face my fears. I am absolutely terrified of heights. And this is the wall at Virgin Active. The week after this photo was taken, I actually did make it to the top. And this is me on one of the stairs on the Machu Picchu trek. I might be terrified of things, but I face them. I don't let them beat me. And that's how I treat everything in my life. Next slide, please. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about alterations and mending for everyday life. I'll just give you a quick overview of what I do. I'll give you some examples in photos, and hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about what I do. Next slide, please. So this is just basically taking up hem on a pair of pants. And I do have these props. So this is the measure that I use, but because it's in inches, I have to work out how much I need to use by using my centimetres and working it out that way. So if I want to do 5 centimetres, I've got to hang that there and then drag it down to get the 5 centimetres. And then that just sits along the bottom edge, and I draw along the top to give me the lines that I need. And I use 2 lines. I use, that top line is where I'm going to be turning up, but I need to know where to cut. So I think the next slide will show you. So that's where I'm marking it, and then I'm marking the next line. So that's where I'm going to turn up, but that's where I cut. And that just makes sure that everything is even and the correct length. Next slide, please. This is just where I'm cutting, and this shows you that I turn it over, and then I turn it over again one more time. If I don't turn it over a second time, it will be overlocked so that the raw edge is kept neat and tidy. Not all pants need to be turned over twice. Next slide, please. This is how it works. This photo is not very good. I couldn't get in close enough, but there is a line along, this is the presser foot, and there's a line along here that lines up nicely with the needle on, that lines up with the edge of the fabric, and then the needle comes down about 2 millimetres from that edge. And if I just keep that line on the on this section, it will be a straight line. And that just shows you how it ends up and what it looks like as I'm sewing. Next slide, please. These are my projects. This was, as you can see, this dress is way too long. It's a Holy Communion dress, and the young girl wasn't going to be wearing high heels, so she needed to have it taken up. Normally you would just simply take the hem up, but because it's scalloped, we wanted to keep that hem because it's very, very pretty. So it meant I had to unpick the bodice from the skirt, and being lace, it's time consuming because it's very easy to tear the lace. There's 5 layers to this skirt. There's the lace overlay, 3 layers of tulle, which is a type of mesh, and then the cotton underskirt. So I had to unpick 5 layers of skirt from 5 layers of bodice. When I unpicked it, I found that all 5 layers of the skirt were all different lengths or widths. So it meant I couldn't just simply trim them all as one and then gather them all as one and attach them all as one. I had to trim each one separately, gather them all separately, and then attach them as one piece to the bodice. And that is the finished product, and you can't tell that it's been mended. This is the grandmother of this young girl. So this is how happy the family was of this dress. The grandmother came to me. Her son was getting married. She didn't feel comfortable wearing a shoulderless dress, so she asked me to attach sleeves. Normally that's impossible because you can't match colours. If you've already got a dress and you want to match it, as Anne has found, it's been impossible to find the exact colour. But I actually had some fabric that was the exact colour, so we were able to attach the sleeves and it was the perfect fabric for it as well. Next slide, please. Last week I replaced the zipper on a biker's jacket. Being leather, I needed to use my industrial machine, so that comes in handy every now and then. So I've had to unpick. Unfortunately, I didn't take a photo of me unpicking it because I actually have to unpick and then pull the zipper to pull some more threads out to unpick those threads. So that's actually a hard job. And then this is the finished product with me putting the new zipper in there. He picked it up on Monday and he carries my cards around in his pocket now so he can give them to his biker mates. Next slide, please. This is an interesting project. I've already done this dress once before, so the client was so happy with it, she went and bought another one and has asked me to do it. And what it is I have to unpick the skirt, unpick the side seams, unpick the side zipper from the skirt and from the bodice, but also then unpick what's called box pleats. Then I have to, I've got a skirt pattern that I then lay on there to cut the new shape of the skirt. I then have to put everything back together again, and the client was so happy with it that this is the second one that I'm doing for her. Next one, please. This is what I'm working on when I get home today. This is the dress that the client has got, and she wants sleeves similar to what is on this picture. So what I need to do is unpick the armhole, make the sleeve, and then attach the sleeve to the dress. Again, that's going to be fun because it's beading as well as lace. So there's a lot of close-up work to make sure that I don't tear the fabric. Next. These are interesting. So this was a top that has spaghetti straps and then sleeves that fall off the bodice. And she wanted it turned into a skirt. And I did it. So I had to unpick just about everything, and I then put a, it's called a elasticized belting and a zipper. And she was very, very happy with it. This I'm going to be doing towards the end of the year because it's a summer dress. She wants it turned into a skirt. So I'm just simply going to take the bodice off, and she doesn't want the frill on the bottom either. So that's a fairly simple job. And this is actually curtains. They're 2.2 metres long and 4.4 metres wide, and there's 3 of them, and she wants 6. So I'm just simply cutting them in half. That way when she puts them up, instead of having to pull the whole curtain across, she just opens them from the centre. So that's a fairly simple job, but it's detailed as well. Then this is a jacket, one of our members from BNI Universe, Lance. He's asked me to resize 3 of his jackets. He's lost some weight, so I'm going to be unpicking the lining, taking it in, but also this one needs to have the shoulders reduced because he's lost that much weight that now the shoulders are falling too far down onto his arms. So that's another big job. Next. And for the new members who haven't seen me before and don't know what else I do, I thought I would also throw in my bespoke clothes and some projects that I've done. So this is my beautiful daughter. She's, as I said, she's 34 this year, and she still fits into these dresses. That's why I hate her, because, This was her year 10 formal dress when she was 16, and her year 12 formal dress when she was 18. So, and she still fits into them. This is my gorgeous granddaughter who's now 8, but she was only a few months old when I made her christening dress. And there's embroidery along the bottom that I actually hand did, and with her name. And our grandson Lincoln wore that 3 years ago, and he's now got his name embroidered on the bottom as well. Next. Now, these dresses are actually all the same dress. Again, my daughter. And then there's this young girl, Alira, it was her year 12 formal. She wanted something nice and elegant, but different. So we made, instead of making the dress, it's actually a skirt with a top and one sleeve on the left-hand side. So, and she got lots and lots of compliments from all the girlfriends, all the ones that had the plunging necklines and all the rest of it. She actually got more compliments because it is an elegant dress. And then a lot of you will remember Janine, one of our members. She had her niece's wedding, and that was the dress that she asked me to make for her to wear to the wedding. Next slide. And then some more, that's an apron dress of my granddaughter. This is one of my girlfriends. I've known her for 50 years. She's just posing in a photo shoot that I had with clothes that I made, and that's one of my dresses. Lisa, a former member, that's a pair of leggings that she asked me to make for her. And the other two, they're 2 of the 5 bridesmaids dresses I made last year for a wedding. They were 50s style dresses. And then finally I make beanbags. This is a cushion cover with self-covered buttons, and a tablecloth cubby house that I made for a girlfriend's daughter, our granddaughter, and she loved it. It fitted the table perfectly and she just loved it. Next slide, please. And thank you very much. That's all I've got to say. If you've got any questions, let me know. But they're all the people that I would like to be referred to. Sporting club uniform shop managers, school uniform shop managers, boutique clothing stores, brides-to-be, year 10 and 12 students or mothers, and time poor mums or dads. Thank you very much.